Hello, hello, hello. What's up? What's up, folks? You know what time it is again. Good old time to edit some photos. Cause I'm trying to finish up all these weddings before Christmas so I can actually have the tiniest bit of time off. So as per usual, I'm just gonna be hanging out, editing, and feel free to ask any questions and I'll answer them here in the stream. And yeah, just hang out and watch the process. I'm gonna be going kind of fast, mainly because I'm really trying to get this stuff done. So the main thing you're gonna see is a lot of me copying settings and pasting them over to other photos or syncing them over to other photos to make the process go way quicker. Because yeah, especially with wedding editing, you don't want to sit there and like nitpick every photo. You're gonna waste a lot of time. So this is a wedding I did in November in Raleigh, North Carolina, downtown, the Tucker House, if you're familiar with the area. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. What's up, Michael? Welcome to the stream. One thing I have a bad habit of doing is I actually over-cull sometimes. So one thing I do a lot of times while I'm editing as well is basically decull my stuff, because it's just like too much of the same. You know, like I don't need, yeah, like those are basically the same. I don't need 30 different shots of the same thing, so. I'm so mad the light was peeking through the trees there. Because these shots would have been super awesome, but... And see, the sun eventually went down just enough to get rid of it. But beforehand, it was just like, just peeking through enough to be mad annoying. So here we go. Select all these photos. This one's my main photo. Hey Steve, what's up? Welcome to the stream. And then I'm just gonna hit sync settings, and I'm not even in develop, I'm just in the view mode. That's gonna sync all my settings across all these different photos. Yeah, and the exposure's a little too much. I'm gonna bring it back with my quick develop tools over here. Yeah, I'm so mad about that. And then after I do that, I go through each photo by themselves. Just kind of see how they look. Yeah, I'm not particularly happy with how that ended up, but I'm gonna deliver it still. Cause they're nice photos of them together. You know, with wedding photography, it's not just about getting exact perfect exposures and perfect photos. You know, this is a special time in a couple's life that kind of comes first, aside from getting perfect photos. Obviously try and do both, but the photo's not exactly where you want it, it's not the end of the world, basically. Because I've come to find anyway, couples end up picking the photos that you like thought were the worst, and you were like, I'll give it to them anyway, whatever. And then they're like, oh my god, I'm gonna get a print of this shot. And you're like, wow, really? It's like out of focus and the lighting's all weird. They're like, yeah, we love it so much. You're like, that's cool with me. They look great together. But I hear you on the sun peeking through the trees. Yeah, it was the worst. And like, I was on a limited time for their photos anyway. So it was just kind of like, here I am. I gotta go ahead and take these shots while I'm here. Like, I really loved the location. I loved the framing of like the trees, kind of cut out a little spot for them. You can see the venue in the back there. Like, it was working. But yeah, that sun poking through was not the look. And it was like, you know, this is November. The sun goes down super early, so you can even see it in these photos. Eventually, the sun moves just enough in the time of me shooting these photos to not have that weird lighting anymore. Yeah, it's already starting to happen. So, I mean, you know, you take some, you lose some. You kind of get used to it with wedding photography. Not everything is going to work out exactly the way you want to. You have to learn how to kind of work around it. Hey, from the Ukraine, what's up? Andre? Wow. Hey, it's Reggie. Yeah, see, this was what? Let's see the time difference on that. I always hate how quick the sun goes down sometimes. So at this point, the sun was nice. And that was at 5:48. And when I started it and the sun was peeking through, that was 5:46. So you're talking literally like a couple of minutes. And then you have that big of a change. So, like, to me, these last couple ones are the preferred look that I was going for. The rest of them, I just took them because it was like, well, here I am. May as well go ahead and take them real quick. So there's that set of photos. Uh-oh, where'd our pictures go? Oh, okay, I see. That's right, we switched. So let's go ahead and hit these. Do you ever use the reference panel? Which one is that? Oh, where it's half and half, right? Like this thing? Oh, the reference, yeah, because that's a newer, not really. I've used it before, especially when I'm matching like a second's photos with mine, because obviously half the time they're not shooting Fujifilm. So I'll do that sometimes, but I usually don't. It is nice though to match your cameras. Yeah, for matching it's really good. And my white balance matching and exposure matching is not the best. I've noticed that sometimes, especially between cameras. Sometimes it's a little sloppy. I probably should start using it more. I use dual monitors and that helps me a lot. Because what I'll do is I'll do the what's this one? The survey view, but I'll do that on my second monitor. So then when I select a group like this and then, you know, go into the one single one, my other monitor has still all the selections. So I can look at them side by side and kind of see if there's anyone that sticks out more with the exposure. But yeah, I typically don't use the survey view. I probably should use it more. I like this kind of classic look with the columns. This was a cool little venue. Breakfast time for the kids. Thanks for dropping by. Yeah, I know that we just got done with our, like, gotta get up, gotta feed them first, gotta get them clothed. It's so much. With 3 too, it's like a whole nother ordeal because a lot of times I would just be able to get up and start working, but now it's like there's a newborn, it has to be fed, so I'll help the older kids, and it's a lot. So enjoy the day, sir. Enjoy your little ones. Black and white this one. I was actually thinking of making a video about how I use 2 monitors for editing, because the survey mode is like, it's just nice. So basically my second monitor will be showing this, and if anything sticks out, I can kind of see it and then make my adjustments there. Here goes some groom solo shots, which I tend to do on the wedding day, groom and bride solo shots. So yet again, since wedding photography, you're editing so many photos. You saw there I started out with auto white balance to get me kind of like a decent starting spot. And then after that, I make my tweaks to white balance and exposure and the shadows and clarity. And then I selected all the other photos within the scene. You saw me do it down here at the bottom. And then just hit sync, and it's gonna sync all of those different settings, which you can pick what your settings are gonna be here in this little window. Typically, I'll do everything except for local adjustments like brush adjustments and transform, because that's going to be specific to the photo. Everything else should be good to go. Spot removal, crop, obviously that's specific to the photo as well. Sync that, and then now you can go through the rest of the photos and just make sure the exposure and everything's looking good. Make sure the crops are where you want them. Black and white this. Cool, so there's a couple shots of him. Looks good, like the white balance. It looks like I was shooting in Kelvin, so her solos, since I shot it with the same lens as well, those edits should work on hers too. Outside of the lighting changing a little bit, but no, I like it. I think it looks good. What was that, the 56? Yeah, good old 56. And then same thing, because they're in the same spot. Select it all, sync it. So like I said again, I kind of over culled a bit, but whatever. I don't mind giving my couple a little bit more. It gives them some options and different looks they want as well. And then I go through and just make sure all the photos look okay. You see the sun going down already a bit there. Photos started getting a little bit cooler. Is my focus off? I was shooting at 1.2. I should have stopped down a little bit. Do you apply any noise reduction even on the lower ISO photos? Yeah, I do have noise reduction. But I also add grain back to my photos. So you'll see here, my preset already has like 35 on the noise reduction. So that's pretty standard. I'll just throw a little bit of noise reduction on there. Fuji tends to introduce noise earlier than most cameras, which makes sense because it's crop sensor. Did I miss the focus? Or is that just it loading weird? This looks like straight up missed focus. Sometimes I leave continuous autofocus on by accident, and that's what tends to happen, is a bunch of missed focus shots, which is mad annoying. But yeah, typically I'll leave the normal Fuji noise in there. I'm pretty like extra about the noise, so I tend to not have a lot in my photos. it's like rare that I have a whole heavy amount of noise in my photos because I keep my ISOs pretty low, or when it's high, I have more than enough light. One of these is a TIFF, I think. Yeah, this photo, I got rid of this black water thing. This is basically the same. And then now we can sync over the rest of these. Now, I'm not gonna get rid of that little water pipe in all the photos. That's just too much effort. But typically something like that, I'll get rid of it in like at least one like killer shot in the area where there was maybe something I needed to get rid of. Because yet again, wedding photography is all about the speed at which you can get these photos back to everybody. So it's kind of like a balance between how quickly you want to edit the photos and then how much you want to deal with, like, you know, sitting there nitpicking every little detail in every photo, which will take forever. I gotta start streaming in the evening. I know this be rough for a lot of people because East Coast people, they're at work. They may not be able to watch. West Coast people just waking up, probably going to work. I guess the really only people it works for is overseas. Y'all probably just getting home. Here you go, some more photos. Let's sync these over. Sync settings. Boom, and those photos are pretty much good to go. Oh, did I finish this section? Almost. So let's hit these photos up here real quick. So again, start out, I apply my preset. Probably go in and just level it up. We'll do auto white balance to give us a decent starting space. And then from there, I can make any color adjustments that I need to. Oh man, I hate when the landscapers come through here. Hi from Canada, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Do you print your photos for your clients? I do. Basically, they can order the prints. And I use Bayphoto for those orders. If I ever print them for myself, I use Artifact Uprising. You can see this one in the back here. How do I point to it? There it goes, bloop. But that's an Artifact Uprising print. You can kind of see them in my videos too. I got a bunch on the wall up here. I think I got some more prints too. Let's see. I got a bunch of prints I printed a while ago. I can't even remember how big these things are. But yeah, see, so Artifact Uprising. I like their big prints. When I do bridal shoots, I include a print and I get like an 18 by 24 or something. And it's on recycled paper. I don't know why, I like it a lot. And the colors tend to work out for me too. It's just everything about it looks good. So I'm a big fan. I don't even know what size these are. But yeah, if y'all have never printed your photos, print some of your own photos. It's really cool. But yeah. So like this is an Artifact Uprising print. And yeah, they come out looking pretty good. Like the recycled paper look works. Here's another print. Yeah, because even like over the screen, it looks like it would on my computer. So big fan. Printing is awesome. Print your work. Hi from Cyprus. What's up? Hello, welcome to the stream. Yeah, a handful of prints. Honestly, I need to get some frames for these. Hang them up somewhere. This was I was in like Florida, and some local place printed this for me. This one is on some normal print paper, and the colors are a little desaturated more than I would like. My screens aren't totally calibrated, so that's probably half the reason. But like I said, Artifact comes out looking exactly how I want it. This is one of my favorite styled shoots. When we did this couple was going to be getting married in like 3 months, so they were engaged but not married, and it was really fun. I got a lot of good shots out of it. And y'all, don't be afraid to do style shoots for free. Don't be over here so up in arms about getting paid sometimes, because you'll miss a lot of opportunities. Actually, Eric Floberg, if y'all know him or follow him, he just put up a video talking about how he did a really epic wedding video, and he heavily discounted that wedding so that he could get that work, because he knew it was going to be really good for his portfolio. So sometimes you gotta do it. So when you do your weddings, you offer prints with the whole package. So I don't offer them, more so they're just a part of the delivery process. So I use PicTime to deliver my photos, and when you deliver the photos, they're able to order prints from PicTime. The only session I offer a print with is the bridal shoots, and that I'll go ahead and print it for them. I just basically ask them like, hey, you know, what is your favorite picture from the session? I find out the picture and then I print it for them. But aside from that, typically they'll just order their own prints if they want to. I can actually show you what that looks like real quick. So here's a wedding that I delivered recently, and basically they can come inside here and this is what they see. They come in, they can see all their photos. All the photos are here, they look nice. What I love about PicTime too is that you can also put in GIFs in here, so while you're scrolling through, if there's a GIF, it'll just be playing like this, which is really fun to just have some GIFs thrown in there. But if there's a shot that they really liked, they can, you know, pick it, order it, yeah, buy. And then all the buying options are just right here. So you have prints and you have other products you can get if you want to. There's albums and stuff. So that's what I'll typically do with prints. I don't directly offer it as like a package. There's just options there, but honestly, I probably should start offering it as a package so I can get better sales on the prints themselves. And really too, with prints, or with anything you offer your clients, it's more about your perspective on it than it is about like making sales. So for me, prints are important because I had a pretty epic hard drive failure a while ago, and I lost a lot of the photos that we had of my daughter when she was like first born and stuff. So it sucks. I also lost a lot of my music because I majored in music production. So a lot of my old music and session files, and I lost all that stuff. All my sounds, I had all these custom created sounds that I like made with my own hands and voice and stuff. So my perspective on prints too is like, photos don't fail, you know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah, they'll fade out, but that takes like literally like years and years for them to fade. Whereas a hard drive is gonna give out at some point. It's just going to. So it's really portraying stuff like that to your clients so that it's less of you just being like, hey, you wanna buy some stuff from me? And more of, you know, like, I really believe in this. I want you to have your photos for a long time, because honestly, if you just get the downloads, which I'm giving you, your hard drive's gonna fail. I'm eventually gonna delete those photos. You know, like, prints last longer than anything else. So that's my rant on on prints, if that makes sense, I guess. My iPad's over here blowing up. Is there even anything? There's like nothing happening. Capture One or Lightroom for Fuji RAW. So I don't use Capture One enough to have a big opinion on it, but I have personally seen the what's that, Chinese? I can't read that. I haven't used Capture One enough to actually have an opinion on it. I dabbled with it one time, but I had no idea what I was even doing. But the main thing that people talk about with Fuji files is the whole warming in Lightroom, and it's a thing. It's for real a thing. So it's kind of annoying that the files even do that. Okay, cool. So I'm almost done with this section. I just got to finish these shots here on the stairs. This was off-camera flash. You can kind of tell because the shadow in the back here. The lighting was like, it was so dark. So I know someone was asking earlier about noise reduction. So I'm at ISO 800. The noise is not too bad, but you can definitely see it. So I am going to reduce this a bit more than I usually would, because I don't have a lot of light. Once I had a green half screen in my EVF, yeah, I don't know what that is, but my X-T3 does it all the time. Reggie, he talks about it in one of his videos too. It's probably the only thing that's mad annoying about Fuji, and I think it's just a software thing. It's not even like a half screen, it's like a quarter of the screen. It comes down just like this much, and it pushes down the photo and the EVF. It's weird. I don't know what that is. But yeah, it's fairly consistent too. Like, it's enough of a normal thing that I'm kind of like, oh yeah, this thing again. Kevin! The dude Kevin's in here. Yeah, right, this is that good morning, start the day off editing. Auto white balance or Kelvin. I'm kind of in a bad habit of auto white balance, but I'll do Kelvin most of the time. This wedding, I think I got better at doing Kelvin, so I stuck in Kelvin for the most part, which makes editing way better. Because auto white balance sometimes be like playing games with you. It's like, oh, you're in the same scene with the same setting, but white balance changed everywhere, and you're like, okay, great. Thanks for doing that. Yeah. Oh yeah, on Fuji, auto white balance is always extra magenta. I'm kind of prone towards magenta. You can kind of see it in my photos I'm editing right now. I tend to over magenta. Not even over, but I like more magenta. So I don't mind it, but yeah, Fuji always is extra magenta. Always. Does that happen even with the latest firmware, Michael? I think it does, actually. I think I am up to date. But I haven't noticed it in a while, and I haven't shot in a while. So, I don't know. But yeah, that greenness is weird. Okay, cool. So this section is done. Let's hit these details real quick. So the detail section has a lot of my seconds photos. He was shooting Nikon. So when I have, especially a different whole camera body, I'll separate it by metadata like this, and then just focus on their shots real quick and get that out of the way. Hey Nand, what's up? Welcome to the stream. So this is my same preset that I use on my Fuji. but made for other cameras as well. Did you try the 16 to 55 lens? I have not yet. How am I playing music on a live stream? That's just iTunes. I'm using OBS for my streaming. So it's handling all that stuff, routing the audio through there, and it's just in iTunes. This is all stuff off of Epidemic Sound, so I know it's safe for YouTube, because that's the biggest thing. And I just made a playlist of stuff that I've used in my own videos over time. I'm a big music head myself, so like I hate editing to like nothing. Oh no, auto white balance. Oh no, baby, what is you doing? There. There we go. I'm a new subscriber. Awesome. Thank you so much for the sub. Glad you're liking the content. I'm gonna try and get better at my 2020 goal is basically less weddings and more YouTube. So we'll see how that goes, because I still gotta pay these bills. And right now the weddings are what's paying the bills. So Neff Files, yeah, that's my second photographer for this wedding. It's like, Neff, what is this? So this second, I actually love his approach, because he does a lot more of this, just taking photos of like guests and stuff, and I usually don't do a lot of that at all. So it's kind of cool, because I know I'm doing stuff. This is him right here, Ben Tran. Uh-oh, my computer. No, what happened? Okay, I'm back. I thought I lost the whole computer. It like stalled up for a second. But yeah, this is my second here, Ben Tran. Kevin, do you know him? I just know he knows a lot of photographers in the area, so I didn't know if you might know him. Wow, auto white balance is like so off. But yeah, so it's nice, because I'll be like, cool, I'm gonna take pictures of people dancing, and I know he's probably just like hanging out, taking pictures with the guests and stuff. Yeah, he doesn't do a lot of weddings. He mainly shoots cosplay and things of that sort. So he goes to like the Raleigh Comic-Con and all that stuff. Yep, vintage Nikon lens on a D600. Was that really auto? It didn't change anything. Oh. Okay. Uh-oh, am I dropping frames? Oh no. Oh no! Do I run into low light issues with the F2? Typically not, honestly. Yeah, no. Now, so I rented the 1.4 versions. Is it working? Am I buffering? Oh no, it's still okay. I hate live streaming. My internet's so bad, but I rented the 1.4 versions of the 35 and the 23, and they were nice, and having that little bit of extra light also was nice, but it wasn't like so life-changing that I was like, oh my god, I gotta get the new versions of these, or not the new, the older ones, I guess, technically. But yeah, it was cool. I was just kind of like, yeah, that's cool. But yeah, I've never really ran into like, it's so dark that I'm like, oh, I wish I had a 1.4 lens. Like, that's never happened to me. You just have to know how to kind of adjust yourself to how much light you get. Now, 2.8, that's a different story. My 14-2.8 definitely has me feeling like, yeah, I wish I had a different lens, like the 16-1.4 or something. Wow, how is the white balance just so off? You're like auto white balance, and it's like, no, I don't know what that is. Tell us about how you organize your collection in Lightroom. I noticed you have a sub collection under each. So yeah, my sub collection and how I break everything into sections is actually something I do for my own personal mental health. So I don't like feeling like I have a lot of photos to edit. It just kind of like weighs on me too much. So what I do is after I've culled all my photos, I break them into sections of the day. And then when I'm editing sections. So when I finish a section, I'm done with it, and that gives me like a small win, which you know, mentally helps you. It makes you, you know, feel like you're actually getting something done, rather than being like, oh my god, I have like 1,000 photos to edit. So basically I'm using smart folders. I have a collection set for the whole wedding, and then I have smart collections for different sections of the day, sorted out by like the text that I add to those sections. And yeah, it makes it much more easier on my mind. So like, you saw me just finish up the couple portrait section, which was 90 photos, and now I'm doing the details, which is 49 photos. So you see, instead of being like, oh, I have like 700-800 photos to edit, I'm like, oh cool, 49 photos, boom 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 boom, done. Cool, let's go to, you know, the bride getting ready, awesome, 99 photos, boom 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 boom, done. And you do that, and you just like, you feel finished quicker. You also, it's a nice way to be able to stop, because I can be like, cool, I finished 3 sections today, I feel like I accomplished something, and then, you know, move on to something else, and not feel burdened like, oh no, well, I didn't really edit that much. So yeah, it's a little mental health thing, because it does take a little minute to set all that up. Like, I could have used that time to edit, but for me, it helps me cope with editing. It makes editing feel less. So I finished my second photos. Now I'm on to my own. You see I'm editing by lens. So that also is another way to keep the editing fast. I just like sectioning things down. It just makes everything so fast. Because you're just like, oh, here's this photo, boom, boom. Here's this next one, boom, boom. Sync these settings, boom, boom, boom. Everything's on the same lens, boom, boom, boom. It's gonna look the same. I shot this in Kelvin, hoping that shooting it warmer would help, but I might have messed myself up. Oh, nope, there it is, boom. Look at that. Kelvin all day. So, since these were with the same lens, I should be able to sync most of those probably. How to pick the right white balance. Yeah, that's actually, Lucy, that's something that I dealt with as well, because you saw the white balance I chose on this. It was out there. Like, look at that, I was like way orange. But I've always found if you pick the white balance, it's gonna keep the skin. That's usually best, because then you can work with it in post. But if you white balance like too blue, I don't know, it doesn't come out the same anymore. You like lose the skin tones, and then you're just kind of like, oh, now I'll never be able to get your skin looking right ever again. So yeah, this whole thing I white balanced like that. But it looks like it gave me the leeway that I actually needed. even gonna keep this shot. I don't like it at all. And then these are basically the same. We'll keep the top down shot. Me and my second basically got this same shot. Lightroom has no idea what to do with this lighting situation. It's like, auto white balance. I don't, please stop. I think he got a wider shot and I black and whited it, and it was kind of nice. Here we go, people signing. This is the same, so we'll get rid of it. And we have more of this. But yeah, so this was with my f2. It was pretty dark in here. I was using a flash at this point. Yeah. Nan just asked it. Yep, I was using a flash. So this is the 35 f2. It was pretty dark. I had my speed light on my camera, so this is on camera flash. I typically don't do off camera flash unless I absolutely need to. I actually don't like the look of off camera flash most of the time, unless you can make it look really natural, which is like a work of art itself. So this is on camera, and I had a mag sphere on the flash itself. You see I'm at ISO 800. So for me, whenever I'm in darker situations, I typically sit around 800 because it picks up the background ambience. So all this stuff, it'll get this with, you know, fairly not too much noise. You can see it's a little noisy, but I don't mind. It's like Fuji's noise is actually kind of nice. So I don't mind that much noise, but the flash is mainly hitting your subjects up front. You see I'm at f2, so I'm straight open. The f2 lenses are pretty sharp at f2. And 1/60th of a second with the flash, that's gonna stop your people, so that's perfect. And that's typically, I'll do that for every wedding, is on camera flash, and then just shoot it like that. A lot of times I don't even use my 35. I'm on the, either the 23 or the 14. And I usually never have issues with the lighting. So all these I think I can sync. I'm gonna skip over this one. But yeah, again, like Kevin was saying, since I shot this in Kelvin, I know the lighting's basically the same. Yep, I usually have my flash pointing up, so it does bounce off the ceiling a little bit, but with the mag sphere, technically the flash is coming up and hitting the sphere, and then it's like shooting out everywhere, and then some of it's going up and bouncing off too, but the ceilings were fairly high here, so really the flash I'm getting is just directly off the sphere. Do I have it close by? Where's all my stuff? I finished my last session and just kind of like gave up on life. I was like, I'm so tired. I'm so done. It's like 40 weddings this year was too much. Actually, I did like 42 or something. So yeah, just a standard speed light. And yeah, I'll typically have it up like this with the mag sphere on the top. Yeah, the mag mods are like, seriously, if y'all don't have mag mods, and I know I talk about it in one of my other videos, like if you don't have a mag mod, get it now, like right now. It's really, they're that good. Let me, I have a video I did on how I do dancing flash, but that's actually how I do flash pretty much in general. But yeah, y'all should check out this video. I talk about it in there and I show off the mag sphere. But yeah, just on camera. And you know what I've learned too? If you can get really good at on camera flash and you're new to off camera, and let's say you're a little worried about off camera because you're like, oh, I've never done it before, I'm not sure. If you can get really good on camera, off camera makes a lot more sense because it's just the same things and the same rules. just applied now with more distance, and you can change the angle of your flash. Whereas when it's on your camera, you know, you can't change the angle. But yeah, so all this stuff, same thing. ISO 800. I stayed at 1/60th a second, so I wasn't changing my settings at all. My flash power was probably at 1/32nd or 1/16th. I usually keep it fairly low. And yeah, the ceilings were fairly high. It's not like they were like low ceilings, because the low ceilings make the hugest. I love when I get like a venue and it's like low ceilings, low white ceilings. You're like, yee. You're like about to light everything. On camera flash, just easy, so easy. How do you focus point during events like this where people are moving around quickly? So typically I do single point focus, so just the one small little single point focus. And then I will just focus on them. I do a lot of the, what do they call that? Focus and adjust. I do that a lot. I picked it up from when I started, and that tends to work for most shots. I've never had a problem with it. Missed that focus though, as we're talking about it. So it gets black and white. And I never use continuous. Continuous autofocus is a trap. Don't use it unless you're trying to get someone like walking towards you or walking away from you or something like that. That's at least my opinion. Continuous autofocus is a trap. Because you'll be like, oh, continuous is great. I can just hold down the autofocus and it's going to focus for me. No. No. It will leave you hanging. I wonder if I can, let me see if I can grab my camera real quick. I think I can hook it up. I can hook it up to my screen. Y'all can get a little idea. I can show you. I can show you my autofocus. Yeah, I think I can do it. Zone focusing for Fuji system is pretty nice. Let's see. This thing ain't long enough. I'm gonna do it for y'all though, because I love you. I love you so much. Look at me over here. Ugh. Trying to set this up. Oh yeah, this thing ain't long enough at all. Alright. Alright. I need a lens. So let's grab this 35. Good old 35 f2. And I'm gonna rent one of those what's that, Ninja monitor, so I can record straight off the Fuji, because I want to make a video on autofocusing and how I handle it throughout the day or during a session. I never use face detect. I never use eye detect. I don't use I don't do any of that stuff. If I was doing like a portrait session and it was just like me and a model, then I would definitely do it, but no card in one. I don't have any cards in here. Oh, there's a card, there's a two. Let's switch you over. Oh, my battery's hurt. Let's see. I gotta make a, can I duplicate this? Duplicate. Let's call it Fuji. Oh, that's right, it's because it's cropped. Edit transform. Oops. Oops. Oh no. No. Sorry, give me a moment. I'm just trying to get my Fuji on the screen for y'all. It's gonna be cool if I can do it. Oh, if my battery can take it. Do I have any spare batteries that are charged right now? Even my grips are dead. That's how you can tell it's been like, like I ended the wedding season and was like, okay, I'm done. So I'm taking the grip off because there ain't nothing in this anyway. And I think I got some spare batteries. Yeah, that might have something of a charge on them. I need a better HDMI cable to connect to my Fuji, because the ones I have don't keep a direct connection well enough. I need one that's like tether grade. Yeah, because see, it's already... Okay. Let's try this. Okay, so here's my Fuji. It's probably going to lose signal from me moving it, but we'll see what we can do. Save data setup. Turn it to sequential so it's not freaking out. Auto white balance. Even in this darkness, like 800 ISO. So yeah, this is my typical, you can already see it. This is how I'll typically focus. So I'll have my square in the middle there. And I won't have it too big, but I won't have it too small either. I'll keep it like here. And then I just focus that way. I'm usually on AFS, not AFC. I don't like AFC unless someone's walking towards me or anything of that sort. So I'll just focus that way. I wish I had a subject or something. Because yeah, it's a little dark. But that's typically what I do. And then I half press, get the green, and then go that way. And just focus that way, because it's pretty quick. Now, if I'm doing like a processional and people are walking towards me, what I'll do is I'll quickly, so I hit up on the little D-pad, switch it to zone, keep my zone about like that, and I can pick where I want that little zone at. And then I'll AFC, and I have my back button, the AFL button on the back, set to like a back button focus. So I'll hold that down and I'll take my shots like that. And just hold it while they walk up towards me so I can like walk back with them. If I need to make it bigger, I can hit the joystick. So you press the joystick down and then you move the little, the turning knob. I don't know what these things are called, but you move the turning knob on the back and make it just a little bit bigger like that. And so now I have a bigger space for my AFC. And yeah, just hold down the back button and keep it like that. So that's typically all day. So they're coming in towards me and I switch to this, and then I go back to normal shooting during the day. So I press up on the D-pad again, go back to single point, and there I am, turn off AFC, and then I'm back to focusing again. And that's most of the day. It's AFS all day, and then a little bit of AFC. Oh, what is this? Is there sound coming in from my Fuji? Is it mad annoying? I'm sorry, y'all. I hope that wasn't like messing up my explanation of everything. I just now noticed. Anyway, back to these photos. Okay, cool. So that is done. So that's all the detail section. And if it's to make sure it's done, I hit the edit option and attribute, and there's no thing with no edits. That means it's good. Do I use back button focusing all the time? I do not. I usually just use the shutter, like half press shutter. The only times I use back button focus is when I am doing something that's continuous autofocus. That's typically when I'll use it, and I'll just hold it that, or when I do the Brenizer technique. For the Brenizer technique, I use the back button focus, but that's because you don't want your focus to change while you're taking your shots. You need the focus to stay where you first set your focus. So I hold the back because then it stays and I can just take my shots. But yeah, I want to make a video like that actually shows that whole process and it recording from the back of my Fuji. Okay, so here's the reception. We're gonna blow through this real quick. Yet again, go through my metadata. Here's my second shots. Yet again, while I'm doing all the partying and people dancing, he's taking shots of people just hanging out, which I absolutely love. I'm a huge fan of it. I might actually make my seconds do that more often. So let's auto white balance this, and that is all over the place. Switch this to auto. There we go. Looks good, and we should be able to sync all of these photos. Cool. Let's see what happened. Yep, that works. That's good. Yep, here we go. There it is, y'all. We found the secret. Here's my setup right there. That's me. Look at my little hand. Yay! So you see my flash on top of the Fuji with the mag sphere on the top pointed straight up. And yeah, that's me for the whole night. That's how I'm getting all my flash photography for the night right there. Ta-da! This needs to be warmed up. Cropping on this. This comes up, we'll straighten it out some. Cool. So there's all my second shots from the reception. That's done. So now I can scoot over to my camera. And yet again, when I get to the reception, like the video I pointed earlier, I shoot everything on the 28, or excuse me, the 14. 14 2.8. I like to drop my shadows down. Gives it a little bit more of a party feel. Let's get this white balance in there. Cool. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, they just partied, not much went on, so I can basically just sync this whole section. Was that first photo that dark? guess so. So I'm just gonna control click that one. Oh no, there it goes. Okay, I was like, there's no way that one photo was so much darker than everything else. And now I can go through every single photo. I'll throw some black and whites in there wherever I feel like it. And we'll just blast through these dancing photos real quick. Yep, and it's basically just going through and making sure everything looks good. So it's typically a pretty quick process, especially if you were like shooting in Kelvin. It's just like literally just like, yep, that's good. Yep, that's good. Yep, that's good. I also cull stuff out too, because a lot of the reception shots, you know, it's just a bunch of people dancing. Sometimes you'll overcull it. I tend to overcull because I'd rather have too much, and then later on when I'm going through it, it's easier to just be like, yeah, nah, this doesn't really fit the vibe, and I can just get rid of it real quick. Versus not culling stuff and then being like, oh wait, and then wishing I had more photos. I'm not a fan. Is Lightroom faster on Windows or Mac? You know, I don't know. So my system, I'm on Windows, but you know, my custom built PC is a Hackintosh. So I do have Mac, and that's where I do most of my video work. I haven't used Lightroom enough on Mac recently, because this would be a great test. It's like literally the same system, the exact same parts. But obviously using a non-Hackintosh would probably be faster than a hack, depending. I want to say it's faster on a Mac, but I don't really know. And I don't know the way to test that, because I would love to test it and do a video on that. I would hope they're equally as fast. That'd be so sad if like it was faster on one or the other. But yeah, so far, most of my experience with editing recently has been on Windows, because my hack is still, I'm not the best at building a hack, so I don't trust it 100% yet. So I do most of my paid work on the Windows side, so that if I have like a Hackintosh issue, it doesn't turn into like, oh my god, my weddings. These are like straight up paying clients. I can't have that happening. But yeah, I love the look of the 14mm during receptions. You just have these nice top-down wide shots. You know, you get to see everybody around. Everyone's having fun. I have the mag sphere still just on the top of my flash. It's lit real easy. Yet again, you see my settings are basically the same. I dropped down to 125 because now I'm on the 14, which is a 2.8, so I'm not getting as much light. But yet again, the flash is stopping everybody. So 125 is okay with flash. ISO is still at 800. And yeah, nice and easy lit. Bounce flash, but it's not really bouncing off the ceiling because the ceilings are a little too high from that. There's probably a little bit coming back off the ceiling, but it's not a whole bunch. It's mainly just coming off the mag sphere itself. I wonder, does the EXIF, does that information tell you where your flash was? Like power wise? Flash did not fire. Not true. Oh, maybe that's because it's manual flash rather than TTL, so it doesn't know what's happening. Yeah. So like that's too much of the same shot for me. So I went ahead and culled that last photo out. Couple quick shots. Yep, and then more dancing. Oops. Hold up, let's bring this up just a little bit more. Black and white that one. My second hanging out in the back. He was borrowing one of my mag spheres as well so that he could kind of match the look of my photos. Cool, and that was it. Did you make this music? I did not. I did used to make music though, and I need to get back into it. And if I was making music, it would probably sound slightly like this. This is the kind of stuff I'm into. Cool. Yeah, so that was the whole section. And this is kind of what I was talking to Kevin about earlier. So that was 114 photos real quick. I finished it and I'm like, cool, that's done. I feel good. So what else do I have? I did the speech section of the wedding. I did reception. I did intros and dances. I finished the group photos. I finished the details. I finished the couple portraits. We have the ceremony left and the bride getting ready. And see how that works out? Since I have these sections, now instead of being like, how many photos are left? I can just be like, cool. I just have to finish the bride getting ready and the ceremony and I'm done. Awesome. Like, it's just so much nicer rather than be like, oh, okay, there's like 300 photos left. And then yeah, since I over cull anyways, this stuff will probably go fairly quickly. So here's a flat lay. Just straightening up the photos a little bit. I plan on doing a flat lay video at some point as well, which will be a hype. Here is the dress shot. Now we can sync the rest of these. Oh yeah, I want to do a live stream of a photo shoot too. That would be hype. I might go back to the white space again because it's really, I liked that space. I don't know how their internet situation is looking, but if I could go there with my computer set up and do like a tether session, that would be pretty awesome. Even if I could like multicam it up or something. It's black and white, this one. Always late. Sorry. That's my fault because I don't schedule these out. I'm just randomly like, I need to edit. I think I'll stream. Because honestly, streaming helps me edit better because y'all are watching me. So I gotta edit. I like procrastinate too much when I'm like editing by myself. So I'm sitting here like, okay, let's edit. Let's edit a bit. And then I get like annoyed with it. So I'm like, okay. Oh, I missed these close-up shots. But you're not too late. Welcome to the stream. What's up? Glad to have you. All right, so that's all the details of the bride getting ready. We have a couple candidates. This kid's like, bro, what are you doing? Who is you? So those are always cute little shots that just have of like stuff going on around the bride. I always like some candidates of just random stuff. So I think always being aware of your surroundings is like a pretty huge thing when you're shooting weddings. Because this is the stuff that like the friends and family and everyone are really gonna love. Not just like the perfectly nice photos that you could submit to a blog. How long does it take you to deliver your work to a client? So it depends. Right now I'm a little behind, like more than I would like to be. This wedding was November 2nd. So I quote 4 to 8 weeks, but I like to be way lower than that. This is a shot by my second. So I'd say typically, oh no, this is, keep the black and white version. Typically it takes me like 3 to 4 weeks, 5 sometimes. But it's mainly just because there's like, you know, I have 3 kids. There's a lot going on. I have multiple weddings. Now, when I'm in the groove, when I'm in a really good groove, I can turn weddings around in like a week. And that's what, at the beginning of the year, because my first wedding's in February, like that's basically what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn those weddings around like almost immediately and just like knock them out, so that I don't have to worry about like having the weddings backlogged or anything. People in my country don't want to pay, so I'll stick to street photography until someone is serious about paying me. Yeah, that's not fun, man. I think I like the edit on this one better, so we're gonna use this as our main piece. Just select all these photos. Oh, the lighting changes there too much, so we'll just do these. Sync the settings. Yeah, I think a lot of it too just comes down to how you present your services. People definitely will want it and pay for it. It's just, it has to be presented correctly too. But I know, yeah, there's definitely huge cultural differences in different countries and stuff too, so it's not as easy as just being like, change the way you advertise to people. Come on, Lightroom, you can do it. So yeah, this whole section is like a little too heavy on the culling. So yeah, like I like that one better than this one. Okay, so the lighting did change a little bit there. Let's black and white one of these. And let's get rid of this one. Someone wanted to trade lenses. He wants my 35 f2 for the 18 to 55 2.8. Man, I love my 35 f2. Honestly, it's probably my second favorite to the 56. 35 f2 is my go-to. I'm about that life. I always love taking these close-ups. If you watch my full wedding video, this is like a standard shot of mine. This close-up putting on the ring shot. And I'll black and white this one. Put it on the ring, put it on the earring. Yeah, 35 f2 is my jam. It is my jam. Oh, cool, I edited this one. But yeah, look at, like, this is too many. This is too many of this one shot. Like, so many. So, I'll probably cull it down some. Yeah, pretty much anytime I've taken a portrait and I want it to be a little bit more intimate, I'm pretty much immediately on my 35 f2. Like, I did this engagement session that I need to edit as well. A dope little engagement session. But yeah, I shoot it kind of the same way as I do weddings. So I have 23 on one and 35 on the other camera. And that's my go-to. So like this looks like a 35. Yep. 35 f2, shoot it wide open. So good, so good. Boom. Look at that. I love putting my couples inside like plant life. So you get kind of these layers. So you have this stuff up here towards the front. You have the stuff kind of behind them. And it just makes them look like they're in some kind of like forest wonderland of love. If you want to call it that. Stuff like this. So see, I can just sync all this stuff over. They were a super fun couple. So 5-star all these. And then paste your settings. And this is, yeah, when you edit like this and you're just syncing settings between photos with like the same focal length or the same scene, because yeah, these are with the 23, so they're gonna be a little different. But like, it's, you edit quick. Like an engagement session, you can blow through that thing like boop, and just be done with it. So see, I can take these 35 shots out and then just pull the exposure back from the quick sync settings. One more maybe? Yeah. Sync that all up and you're good to go. Also, to someone on one of my videos, they were surprised. They're like, "Oh, how are you getting so much like bokeh and background separation out of like the f2 versions?" But like, you get enough. I don't know why everyone be hating on the f2 versions of the lenses. They're good. I love them so much. The focusing is fast. The focusing is quiet. Like, it's good stuff. I know everyone's over here up in arms about the 1.4 versions, but I'm a big fan of the f2s. Oops. No. Okay, but let's not get distracted. Let me go back to the wedding, because I actually need to go ahead and finish this and deliver it. You know what? I'll keep that photo actually. So my second took this. This is a great little shot to add along with the shots I already have. So I always love that when my seconds take shots kind of adjacent to what I'm taking. Because I tend to take the safer shots, like they're more straightforward, more from the front. F2 have the realistic sharpness, if you think about it. Yeah, the sharpness on the F2s are like, and you can just shoot them wide open. Like, when I use the 1.4 versions, I stopped down a little bit because I was always like, oh, I don't want to like miss the focus, or the plane of focus is just too like, it's too off, you know. The F2s are pretty good wide open, and then you can just stop down like the littlest bit. Like the F2s at 2.8, unbeatable. That's why I love that 35 F2 so much. 35 F2, it's so sharp. And it looks so good. All right. But yeah, like, I just love having some good extra angles from a second photographer. Like, that's some dope black and white, just like close-ups of getting ready and stuff. So none of these photos I had edited already, so I'll take this one. I found the 23 and the 35's colors are pretty similar. Really, the only difference is how much light they're letting in. The 35 lets in more, it seems like, or less. The 23 lets in more because it's wider. I don't know. I don't know how that works. Yep, and then we're gonna sync all of these. So looking at these already, I know I want to black and white this one. I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. I'll black and white this one as well. Any thoughts on a 16-1.4? I actually have not used the 16-1.4 and I'm very interested in it. The only 1.4 lenses I've used currently are the 35 and the 23. I have 35 f2, 56 1.2. Thinking about getting, yeah, 16-1.4 with your setup currently. 16-1.4, I would say go ahead and get it. I've heard it's like super sharp and it's just really awesome. And having a wide lens is always like a must. Because like if you've seen some of my videos, like I get a reception time just dancing photos and immediately I'm on my widest lens and that's like it for the rest of the night. So I think with your setup, and I've heard a friend of mine, he likes using the 16 for getting ready instead of the 23. Hector, what's up? Welcome to the stream. But yeah, he said he really likes the feel of the 16 and that range it gives you. So like all this stuff I'm doing here, he'll typically do it with the 16. So it sounded like the 16 might be that look for you. All right, so that's the majority of her getting ready. And then I did some solo portraits of her, which I have. This one I edited. This is a TIFF. So this is the one that has my edit on it. So we're gonna just sync that across all of these. Cool, and then take this one out. I really don't want to have to edit all these photos, but I'm probably gonna do it. There was like blue tarp in the back. You see it here? And it's like, it's just distracting enough that I think I'm gonna go through and I think I'm gonna get rid of it. Yeah, it's like, just enough to be annoying. Yeah, all of this is 35 f2. I love the 35 f2 for portraits. It's just so good. I think I'm gonna get rid of this. Well, no, we'll get the bottom of the dress in there. I mean, and that's pretty decent bokeh. It's not like killer crazy super separation, but oh, this one's better. Let's get rid of that one. We'll get rid of that one too. Is this it? It is. Okay, let's do the annoying editing. See, this one. I did that one already. Here. That one's fine, whatever. Right click, edit in. Adobe Photoshop. Ooh, Photoshop 2020, the future. What's new? You can use it with your iPad. I actually haven't really tried it out yet in my iPad because this is the only time I really use Photoshop. That's also why I haven't done any videos on it, because I really only use Photoshop for what I'm about to do now, which is removing stuff that I can't really do in Lightroom. And that's literally it. Which I think you can do. I think you can do that now. And with Lightroom, you can export your photos into Photoshop and edit it that way. So maybe I'll play around with it on my iPad some more. Ta-da! So here we are in good old Photoshop. And we're just gonna get rid of this annoying blue tarp. Some good old fashioned content aware fill. Bloop. Oh, that's the worst. What were you thinking? Bloop. There, that's acceptable. Save. Close it out. Next up. Cause see, that's the thing, on the iPad Photoshop, you don't have content aware fill. And that's like the main thing I use. Like literally, I just come in here and go bloop, bloop. Okay, it looks fine. Save it, close it out. This one is harder because it's so close to her veil. You know what? No, content aware is not gonna. It's not gonna cut it this time. We gotta manually do it this time. Let's see if I can start from here. I'm torn between getting an XT3 or an XH1. Is it better to go with XT3 for the newer image processing? I would say yeah. I haven't used the XH1 personally, so you know, I can't give you that opinion. But the XT3 is so good, and the video stuff on the XT3 is better. So if you're trying to do a little bit of video stuff, it may be a better choice than the XH1. Because the IBIS is great and all, but I don't know. Unless you're doing a lot of video. I feel like you're not going to use IBIS with photos. You should never be shooting with that low of a shutter that you feel like you need an IBIS anyway. I mean, I guess it helps. There's a time and place, but it's like rare. I've rarely ever been like, let me handhold this photo and hope to God it works. So there's this cable over here, but I'm not like a Photoshop guru and I don't feel like dealing with it. And I bet if I try and content aware like this, it's gonna come up with some crazy, oh no. It's not perfect, but it's acceptable to me. But yeah, I would go with the XH3 just with all the newer technology, and you know, IBIS is great and all, but I'm also biased though. I love my XT3 so much. I got it at the start of this year and it's been a very happy, acceptable upgrade for me. Better grip and value for the money. I mean, yeah, the grip's nice, I guess. I've never, I don't know. Everyone's always stuck on the grip. I'm kind of like, yeah. I don't do videos, so I'll go with the XT3. Yeah, I feel like the XH1 was made for video, but then the XT3 has better video stuff, so it's just like biased towards the XH1. I mean, yeah, and that's the thing, like, they're hard choices. They really are, because the XT3 and the XH1 are so similar, but yet so different. I don't know why Fuji did that to themselves. They're like, let's introduce cameras that are basically the same and have like very close similarity with the features, but we'll just make them just a tiny bit different so you'll not know which one to buy. It was kind of like dumb. I don't know what they were thinking. I hate doing this kind of stuff. Bloop. Oh, content aware for real, my dude. Let me just do it myself. Let's just do the old-fashioned version. Was that so hard for you, Photoshop? If you're not doing a ton of video and don't need the excellent video stabilization, XT3 for the win. Yep. I have both of them. Nice. Also, the autofocus on the XH1 lags when compared to XT3. Yeah, the XT3 is smaller, lighter. The autofocus is better. The video features are a little bit better, which I don't know why. Like, I really still don't know why Fuji was like, here's the XH1 with IBIS. It's for video. But the XT3 comes out moments later with better video options. And it's like, guys, why? Why? Why did they do that? Okay, cool. So I edited all those photos. So now you see the TIFFs are saved back in Lightroom. So what I'm gonna do is select all the ones with the blue tarp in it, and I'm gonna 0 them. So I still have them if I need them for whatever reason, but now they're not in my selects that I'm gonna deliver. So now no more blue tarp, that's all gone. Awesome, all this is edited. Now we just have these couple of photos, and I wanna change the magenta on this photo. XX1 is almost the same size as oh yeah, and yeah, that's the thing for me. The XX1 is cool, but like half the reason of me switching to mirrorless and like crop sensor, I don't even like this photo, is to have a smaller camera. So for me, the XH1 is like, yeah. If I wanted a bigger camera, I'd go get a Canon or something, which is where I started my journey. Like I would just go back. Rather than getting like a big Fuji and then just being like, hey, look at my big Fuji. Awesome. So getting ready bride is done. And now I think all I have left is the ceremony. I didn't even think I was going to blow through this wedding like that, but you guys helped me. Having you all hanging out with me really made a difference. Thank you. Thank you all. D800. Good old D800. Okay, so here we are at the ceremony. Let's go ahead and hit my seconds photos real quick. I usually like to get those out of the way. So this is everyone processing in. Yeah, and I'll crop in on this a little bit. And then these are all basically the same scene, so we're gonna just sync the settings. Looks like the lighting changed a bit, so I'll still have to go through and edit all of them. Yeah, the lighting changed a lot of bit, not just a little bit. But that's fine. That's just some good old exposure changing. So the only thing here, my seconds photos are a little bit soft, but I'm hoping after I export and do my sharpening and stuff, it shouldn't be too bad. Like they're on enough that it's not going to ruin all these photos. So they're also nice little photos that like it's okay. I'm actually gonna take this. Whoa, I could probably edit her out. This was the planner. She was like setting up the veil and all that. I always hate when it's like ceremony time and there's always somebody who's trying to like fix or straighten the dress, and it just like ruins so many nice candid shots you could have gotten because they're just like behind them like, oh my god, the dress. And you're like, it's okay, the dress is fine. Yeah, like that photo I'm not even gonna use. Yeah, let's see if we can get her out of this real quick. Edit in Adobe Photoshop 2020, the future of Photoshop. Mobile Photoshop. What? Ta-da! Yeah, this hopefully will be easy. Let's see if Content Aware will do it. Cause yeah, she's like standing in a bush, basically. Bloop. Bye-bye. Yep. Yep, that's good. That's good. Cool. D800 is a great camera. Another YouTuber. Photo Mike. Yo, I'm not gonna go to WPPI this year, but I really wanted to go because I wanted to meet him because I think he's gonna be there. Photo Me Ike, he's cool peoples. Very similar workflow. Awesome. I like it. Yeah, I like to go fast. Get that Sonic the Hedge. You gotta go fast. Gotta go fast. Yeah, I have a workshop I'm doing in January and another one that I'm doing in February. And I can't justify WPPI. I can't. I was like, the only thing I could get out of it is making like, you know, some wedding, not even wedding, just some YouTube content. But even then I would like need someone to help me record and like do gimbal work or something. And like, I don't know, I just don't. I was like, yeah. I was trying to see if I could get someone to sponsor me to go out there, which I actually forgot to email people. I was going to email Holdfast and be like, hey, since y'all are doing this thing because you go every year, you want to pay for me to come out with you and talk about your gear to people? I should have emailed them. Actually, I probably still have time to email them maybe. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna email them. If they're like, yeah, we'll pay for you to come out, then I'll be there. And I'll go find Photo Me Ike. And maybe we can link up and do something. Merry Christmas! What's up, Lorenzo? Welcome to the stream. These are my second photographer's shot. Just editing these first real quick. Just do it. Yeah, I need to be better about that, because half the time when you don't email people, they're like, hey, why didn't you hit me up? And you're like, yeah, I'm sorry. They're like, we totally would have supported you, but we never heard from you. Great job. Drop the ball. See, I'll hit them up. If you see a bunch of WPPI content in the next couple months, it's because they were like, yeah, we'll pay for you to come out. Because that happened to me like 2 to 3 years ago at this point. My first time to WPPI, Honeybook was like, yo, you want to come out to WPPI and talk about Honeybook to people? And I was like, word? They're like, yeah, man. So they flew me out to Vegas. It was hype. So yeah, maybe I can do that again. Can you share your editing playlist? I might be able to make it somewhere. This is my YouTube safe playlist. I would say the biggest thing, I don't know if y'all know Chill Hop. That's kind of my, Chill Hop is my go-to for just chill music. They just released their Winter Essentials mix. Here they go right here. Chill Hop. Definitely check them out. It's a lot of stuff that's like this. I just don't know if it's safe for YouTube, so I'm not playing it on the stream. Because I'm not trying to have them come at me with the copyright. I feel like you breathe the wrong way and YouTube's like, copyright! I'm sorry! Okay, cool. So the second photographer's photos are done. Now for my stuff, since this is a ceremony, everything's pretty straightforward. So we're gonna separate it by lens now. So see, like I had already edited this one photo for a preview. So now I can pretty much just go bloop, 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 sync the settings. And there they go. These photos are the same, basically. Some are black and white, this one. There we go. I wonder if I can sync this one too. See if this one matches. They're a little too cool, so I'm gonna warm this one up a bit. And I'll sync that across the photos, just the littlest bit. Yeah, it's like they're just too cool. And this one's a little too dark. I shot a little bit of film at my last engagement session, so I need to send it in and get it developed. See what that looks like. Black and white. A little moment after the ceremony. Hop into the 23, which is, yep, everyone processing in for the most part. Yeah, that literally is like the only photos. So yeah, this is another section, going back to what I was talking about with how I do autofocus. So this is a section of the day where I do continuous autofocus, and it looked like it kind of missed this shot, but I can't tell. When these smart previews load in, they like are deceptive. Sometimes you'll be like, oh, I didn't even get the focus, and then you'll export it and it'll be like totally sharp. And you're like, oh, I guess it was fine. It just lied to me. So yeah, everyone processing in will be easy. Yep, just literally select all these and sync them. Because it's just me standing there taking photos. But yeah, this is continuous autofocus, the zone focus, a nice square right in the middle, like the four focus spots inside the square. And then continuous, and I just hold down back button focus and then just let off a couple of shutters while they walk in. And then I'll throw some black and white on a couple of them every now and then. So the only thing I don't like about this venue is the fact that it's just like in the middle of downtown. So it's like you got cars and stuff just coming through and people just walk in and you're just like, oh great, okay, thanks. Oh no. Lightroom. What are your thoughts on using Photo Mechanic for image culling? I feel like it is the only way to cull your images. It's like a must. I actually taught an online class on culling inside of Lightroom, and you can do it, and you know, you can use smart previews to make it faster, but Lightroom is still slow and it's just stupid. So like Photo Mechanic all the way. And I don't even think I use Photo Mechanic's real potential all I basically do is go in there and 5-star stuff and then sync the metadata back to Lightroom, and that's it. Like, I don't do like selecting photos and all that. I don't do any of that. Like, Photo Mechanic can do a lot. Yeah, like, look at this stupid car coming through. You're like, oh yeah, great. John, have you ever had weddings in the rain? Tomorrow he has a wedding. That's what it says. And among other things, it's in the afternoon. Yeah, it was this year. This year, like, I swear, nearly every wedding I was at, it rained. And it was, like, so annoying. I was just like, oh my God, can it stop raining? I can talk about it real quick. I'll show you one of my weddings. Where it, like, and I'm not even talking like, oh, it rained a little. No, it, like, downpoured. Like, straight up downpoured. Luckily, the whole day ended up working out. So it was a really cool day, but you just have to be on top of your game for rainy days. And you have to be very confident in your abilities to make the day smooth and let your couple know that. Because if you look like you're freaking out about the rain, then they're gonna freak out too. You just have to be, you know, as calm as you can and as collected as you can and be like, hey, look, I know it's raining, but if you want these good photos, we have to work together on this, and we'll need to do X, Y, Z, and just lay it out for them and communicate. You know, just really, like, let them know, like, work with me and I'll do my best. And, you know, ask them questions, be honest about stuff. Like, I'll ask them how much they're, like, how much do they care about getting wet? Because some brides will be like, yeah, it's whatever, a couple drops or whatever. And other brides are like, if the moisture in the air is too much, I can't go outside. You know what I mean? So you got to, like, figure out, you know, who you're working with and how they're going to react to the rain, and then play around that and just, you know, communication. Because, yeah, there's no easy answer. I can't just be like, oh yeah, rainy days, whatever. But if you stick to kind of the stuff I was just talking about and being confident and communicating with your couple and just letting them know that certain ways you got to do stuff is going to turn into better photos, like, that's how you can get through a rainy day. I wonder, is it loaded in this one? What couple was that? Let's see. Where are you? Brianna and Alex is not in here. So let's jump into another catalog real quick. So let's talk about rainy days real quick. Man, it just changed my whole layout of Lightroom. It's mad annoying. Lightroom is the worst sometimes. Wait. All right, so here's a day that honestly went extremely well, but it, like, seriously downpoured. Like, it seriously downpoured. And these are all my raws too. This was me. I was shooting bracket because it was super dark. This is another case of, like, what do you do when, like, low light situations? It's just, you know, hand hold it, put the shutter as low as you can. That's 1/15 of a second handheld. Like, it's possible. You can do it. Fuji's awesome like that. So yeah, I started the day. It was already kind of raining. You can see it outside. Yeah, it had been raining all morning. It rained the day before. Like, everything's super wet and it's just rain everywhere. Yeah, the mountains. They had a wedding in the mountains, so it was gonna be like a nice mountain wedding and a cool sky, you know, up high, you see the skies and everything. Nope, raining. Everything was just clouds everywhere. You kind of get this cool, like, smoky cloud fog stuff. So yeah, the day went fine. They were supposed to have an outdoor reception or ceremony. So I start the day off, got a couple details, do my flat lays. This is my the way I go about my wedding days is always the same. So it's, you start the day, you either start with the guys, or if the guys aren't ready, you start with the ladies real quick, hit her details, do a flat lay, get a robe shot, because once they get their makeup on, they're good to go. So you can do a robe shot real quick if they want to. Threw them on the bed, had them get some drinks. They had a fun time. She was really emotive, which was awesome because the photos are really, really good. Then I went down to the guys. It wasn't totally raining anymore, but everything's wet. So they were in this little bus getting ready. Oh, and hot tip, always take, if you want to at least tell the story of the day, take a photo of where the person is getting ready to, especially if it's something different like this. Just like an establishing shot. Groom's here getting ready. This was also mad dark. So you see ISO 1250, 1/80th of a second, which is a stretch because he's actually moving. So this was a little rough as far as lighting. I tried with some flash, but I didn't like the way it looked. So I went back to natural light. 35 f2, 1/25th of a second, 1250 ISO. It's really not too bad. Like, that's passable. So that's, earlier people were asking me about how do I deal with lighting with the f2 lenses, and usually it's fine. And I mean, it was dark. Like, it was really dark in there. So groom gets ready, has his brother get him ready a little bit too, so they help out. And then, yeah, a little toast with the guys. Go back to the bride, we get her ready, she gets in her dress, people help her get in her dress, her and her sister. Yet again, super emotive, so it was like really awesome photos. And then when we were just about to do the group photos, so like the bridal party and the first look, it starts like raining all over the place. So let's see. She did a first look with all of her bridesmaids. She did some grandmothers, because her mom died, unfortunately, like a while ago. So she has a bunch of moms. So like aunts and sisters and stuff like that. Wow, so much happened. So this is her getting ready. And after she gets ready, we were going to do a first look. Here you go, a couple of solos. I typically do solos as well. So yeah, so here goes my first look, and see, it's raining already. So he's out here with an umbrella because it's already raining. She's even out here with an umbrella for the first look. I have him drop his umbrella for a second. Yet again, they were okay with getting a little wet, and it wasn't downpouring yet. So we do our first look. First look goes well. This is just like my wedding day photo, or my wedding day video. So I'm shooting with the 23, switch over to the 56 to get his reaction, a nice close reaction. They do a first look. They're in the rain a little bit. They're okay with a couple of drops, which that's the biggest thing you can hope for on a rainy wedding day, is that your couple is okay with a little bit of rain. If you have a couple who's like, absolutely not, we can go nowhere close to the water, it gets rough. But yeah, you can see it's like raining. It's actually raining. You can see it in the photo. You got rain bokeh and stuff. Dang, does it take you that long to load the photo? But yeah, so we get to the bridal party after we took a couple photos, and it's like, it's pouring. Appreciate the stream. Just followed you on Twitter. Thanks, man. Thanks, Michael. Thanks for hanging out. Hope to catch you next time. See you next time, guys. Yeah, it was like, look at this. It's raining. But yeah, that's the biggest thing. Like, just communicate with your couple and really just, you know, work through it. The ladies weren't going to get in the rain like that. The guys were cooler with it, so we worked with it. But yeah, rainy days aren't really that bad. You just kind of have to be on your A game and know how to communicate with your couple. That's the biggest thing. Knowing how to communicate with your couple is like the number one. If you're not communicating well, I feel sorry for your rainy days. Okay, let's finish this wedding up. Because we're just about there. We are just about there. Okay. Where were we? Ceremony. And I was breaking it down by lens. I had just finished, all the photos for the 23. In addition to being in the afternoon, I will be without light already from the exit from the church. Yay! Dark churches for the win. That's rough, man. Good luck. Good luck on that. You should be fine though, yeah. Just communication is the biggest one. I think in general, all of wedding photography, communication is like your biggest thing. Because for me, if you have a good rapport with your couple, even before the wedding day, when you have stuff like rain and things happen, it's easier to like talk to them and suggest things and be like, hey guys, you know, we're dealing with this, da da da. And people aren't like freaking out like, oh my god. But you really have to have that rapport in the first place. Without that rapport, it's like nearly impossible. So I always switch to my 35 to get like flower girls coming in. So I'll shoot the intros or the processional with the 23 most of the time. But then when you have the kids come in, you drop down low, squat it down, and then shoot it with like a longer lens. And get those nice cute photos of the kids. Family loves that stuff. Yeah, the violinist. I always love if I get the information of like the instrumentalist playing at the wedding. I usually try and send them a couple photos. Yet again, you know, it's easier to attract bees with honey. So I know a lot of photographers always like weird about, you know, trying to get money for their photos if other vendors are using their photos for stuff. But I say like unless they're gonna do some like crazy huge ad with it or something like commercial print, like I say just give them some photos. Because at the end of the day, they're gonna appreciate you caring about their business and giving them content that they can use for their business, and it's gonna come back to you. At some point, they're gonna be like, oh yeah. Like actually, speaking on that, a wedding planner I worked with this year is now like the lead planner for a venue in the area. And she just hit me up and was like, hey John, I work here now. I want to put you on the preferred vendors list. And this venue is like literally 20 minutes from here. So being on that preferred venue list is really awesome, because now it's just like, cool. People are going to go, they're going to look at preferred vendors, they're going to see me, they're going to hit me up. I'm going to get the wedding, I'm going to drive down the street, shoot the wedding. That's easy money for me. And it's a nice venue that I like. It's a nice mid-sized venue, so nothing huge. It looks nice. It lights well. It's downtown. It's just nice. Let me try auto white balance on this one real quick. Oh yeah, it's 2. There we go. Then we can synchronize these. Black and white little man right here. We did these already. And then I should be able to sync these. Oh, the lighting changed a bit. And then now I'm gonna sync the rest of these since I updated it. This is a good, yep, black and white. This is also a good black and white. I'll actually color this one. And then, like I normally do, I switch to my 56 during the ceremony. And this is just for most of the shots of them standing up there together and any close-ups of them putting on the ring. So I have this one shot edited already. The coloring looks good there, so I'm actually going to use this to sync all of my photos. The only ones that I won't do are like these ones of the people on the side. Yep, and then we'll sync all those and adjust from there. This track goes hard. I don't even know what this is. Is this my dude Joby? It is. Joby is that dude. I gotta find his stuff in general. All right, so now that I have all those photos selected, I can go through and just make sure they look good. And I love the 56 for ceremonies. Like, look at that, just good slight bit of separation between the back there, and they get the couple nice and just like big in the center. I do have to be fairly close with the 56, but I don't mind it. I'm like there in the center of the ceremony. I haven't had any couples have an issue with it or anything. Because like I could use the 90, but I don't know. The 90 is just so long to me. I don't like being so far away all the time. I don't know why, but like shooting closer has just been my thing now. Ever since I started shooting more wide, it just works out better. Let's crop this in some. We'll black and white this. Yep, and then I always do a close-up of the ring being put on, and typically those will be black and white. crop this in a bit as well. And yep, and I'll black and white this one as well. I don't know why I like the ring shot black and white. It's mainly because I crop it in so close. Like people's heads are getting cut off, so the black and white makes it, I don't know, more of like, hey, this is not about your faces. There's our first kiss. I'll black and white this one. Cool, so that's all of those photos. Got someone in their fields, black and white that. We have some more details. So I found a lot of times, depending on what you're shooting with the white balance, if stuff is too orange, sometimes sucking the yellow out of it helps. And it still keeps people's skin tones looking okay. Oh man, I'm on a roll. I'm grooving right now. Moving and grooving. Let's get these shots on the side. And so this is what I would call some standard wedding photography editing. Just like fast. Just get through it as quick as you can. Get these photos to these people. Because the biggest thing with wedding photography is you're trying to get the photos right in camera in the first place. So like you shouldn't have to be sitting here like doing all kinds of crazy Lightroom craziness to your photos. Like you should be getting that exposure just about where you want it. Your colors should be good. That's another reason why I switched to Fuji, because like the stuff just looks the way I want it to. I don't really have to do too much with the white balance. I throw my preset on the thing and it looks good and it's fine. And the more you can have that happening, the better, because then you can just edit much faster. Cool, so that's that. I think that's everything in this section. Yet again, go to attribute, check the no edits, and yep, these are both TIFFs, which is why they don't have edits. So that means I finished that section. And then we can do the same thing with the whole wedding. I can go to flagged photos, go to attribute, go to no edits, and I should only see the TIFFs and this photo. Look at me, I'm so beautiful. I should only see, yep, TIFFs, which means I am done with this wedding. Y'all, I didn't think I was gonna finish this thing in a couple hours. I was dreading editing today, but having y'all hang out with me definitely helped me finish this up. I got a engagement session that I need to go ahead and hop on and get a preview for them. So I'm gonna do that. But for now, I'm gonna hop off of this live stream because I typically go for about 2 hours. So this was perfect. Thank you all for hanging out with me while I finished up that wedding. Definitely helped me out. I'm gonna chill now and export all these photos and upload them to PicTime, which I will have more videos about in the future. Delivering your photos, adding them to PicTime, all of that good stuff. PicTime versus Shootproof, all that stuff. So don't forget to subscribe again. Check out that video I have on a full wedding day. You can find it up here. I'll add the link for you all. And thank you again for hanging out. It's always nice. And I will catch you all next time.